G.I. Joe.
Pork chop sandwiches!
Hey gang, this is Flava Dave, welcoming you to the inaugural episode of G.I. Joe Disorder of Battle, where we take a look at America's movable fighting man. This time we're looking at one of the newest Joe items to come down the pike, the fan club exclusive Adventure Team Commander and Dr. Venom set. Now, I know, I really did not want to talk about yet another fan club exclusive, especially for my first episode, because to be honest, I'm worried I'm starting to come off as a shill for these guys, which I promise I'm not. But the thing is, the last wave of Rise of Cobra hit stores last November, and Pursuit of Cobra isn't due out until August, maybe. At least we've got the Resolute box sets to look forward to mid-July, but point being, the fan club has pretty much been the only game in town all year. Even if it weren't, this set represents such an awesome mixing of eras and styles that I would almost have to talk about it sooner or later, so why not right now when it's just starting to roll out across the country? Also, it gives me more time to Google images of cute girls in Baroness costumes for the next episode. Groovy. Anyway, for whatever reason, the fan club decided to take the Adventure Team concept from the 70s with their fuzzy heads and kung fu grips and translate them into 25th anniversary style figures, which I think is pretty cool. They've made 3 sets so far, inspired by both the Adventure Team figures and their classic vehicles. An air adventurer with a repainted Fang helicopter, a land team adventurer, which dirt tells me has a repainted Battle Blitz for the ATV, and the commander,
I've got a total assignment for you.
who comes with Dr. Venom. Now, they had said there was also going to be a sea adventurer who was going to come with this version of the Mantis sub, repainted to look like the old Sea Wolf, but I guess it got pushed back to a, hopefully, second wave? Hey, it's cool. It's not like I signed up for the fan club just to buy that specific toy. Anyway, as I said, the commander comes with Dr. Venom, who is not an enemy of the Adventure Team,
The intruder is the enemy of G.I. Joe!
but was in fact a character from the 80s comics, first appearing in issue number 10 and making it all the way to number 22 before getting killed off. He was actually the guy who created the mind control device that Cobra Commander has used again and again, and again and again. This is the first Dr. Venom figure ever made, and they've thrown him into this whole 70s throwback hootney for no discernible reason. Awesome. Now, the figures have pretty standard 25th style bodies and articulation. The parts are mostly recycled. For instance, they both seem to have Shipwreck's bell-bottom legs. Venom reuses the movie Cobra Commander's coat, and Joe has Ace's arms. Joe's head, however, is a big exception, but that itself is used for all 3 Adventure Team figures, which is how they did it back in the day, so you really can't consider that a fault. The commander comes with a rifle, pistol, backpack, and stand, and Venom also comes with a stand, as well as a pair of test tubes and a pair of pistols. He also has an additional accessory in the form of this ginormous Venus flytrap thing. According to his file card, he developed a sudden interest in botany or something. I guess he was big into viruses and stuff in the comic, but I don't recall him ever developing something like this. Although Destro did create those vine things in the Sunbow Revenge of Cobra miniseries. Now, I had thought that the demon plant was from some old poison ivy accessory left over from the Kenner days, but it turns out it was actually an accessory for a 12-inch Adventure Team convention exclusive. And frankly, I've given those guys enough free publicity. So, as far as you know, it's an old leftover poison ivory accessory. Oh, and I feel compelled to point out that whatever rubbery plastic they used for this thing, thanks. Although the Adventure Team Commander isn't done in the funky camouflage that the Land Adventurer is, I think he's a really cool figure that manages to be both a unique character and yet kind of generic at the same time, very much like the Adventure Team Joes back in the day. Speaking of which, while they're on cards that sport the Real American Hero logo, the rest of the art, right down to the Hasbro insignia, is old school 70s style graphics design. While I like this for the Adventure Team guys, I have mixed feeling about Venom. Obviously, the fan club wanted everything to have a consistent look, but since this whole group of toys are all about the nostalgia factor And Venom is a real American hero era character. I kind of would have been happier if his card had had a more 80s styles flair.
Pork chop sandwiches!
It's a nitpick, I know. And otherwise I think he's great. Yes, he's a generic guy in a lab coat, but that is what I love about him. We've had a village person in a lab coat, and we've had Tommy from Third Rock in a lab coat. I like that this guy is just a simple run-of-the-mill evil scientist with a painted-on tie. Now you're probably wondering, hey Flavor Dave, how much did you squander on this fancy pants item? Well, this set is the most expensive of the three, and if you're a member of the club, it costs you $45, and if you're not, it's $87. And the other two are $35 for members. While I said I wasn't shilling for these guys, I really do hope they sell well enough they end up making that Seawolf. Even if they don't, I'm still pretty happy that Dr. Venom can finally join Quinn the Eskimo and the Hardmaster among the ranks of the memorable Larry Hama characters that have finally gotten a figure. And hey, who knows? Maybe someday we'll even get one for Dr. Adele Burkhart. Probably not. Still, as an old-timer, I look forward to reliving some of those classic Adventure Team adventures.
There are 50 adventures for your G.I. Joe with Kung Fu Grip, each sold separately.
Like the search for the ginormous gorilla, the quest for the mummy's tomb, there was one with a vulture, Yeti guy.
I've got a total assignment for you.
Anyway, until next time, this is Flavor Dave reminding you that knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe!
Destro's got a plan. He's an evil man. He's the terrifying enemy of G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, American hero, fighting COBRA.
My God, did that smell good.